Hi everybody, it's John, and today is September 17th, 2020. It happens to be the 60th anniversary of the Kiwanis Club of Grantville Allied Gardens. So we had a big celebration this morning, lots of guests that showed up, lots of good memories, a lot of fun to see everybody, and it was a good, very feel good, very uplifting meeting. So that's exactly what we wanted, and I want to say thank you to everybody who was there. And if you missed it, we will post the video. Of course, the meeting was on Zoom, so we recorded the whole thing. We will post the video online on YouTube later on. I am waiting for it to upload on YouTube as we speak, so hopefully it'll be up soon. And then, of course, we have our special edition of the newsletter, which also came out today. If you would like to get a copy of that, go ahead and let me know, or it should be on our website later today. So, one thing that I thought I would do, because I've been staring at these boxes in my room that have not been unpacked since we moved a year and a half ago, but I have some boxes that contain nothing but old t-shirts and sweatshirts and what have you, clothing, apparel from Key Club, Circle K, and Kiwanis, from some projects that I've done over the years, from some clubs that I've belonged to. And I thought I would go through literally some old laundry with you here. I don't know what to expect from this because I really haven't gone through these boxes since well before they were packed. So some of these boxes are probably packed up for probably 3, 4, 5, 6 years maybe. It's been a while. So I thought I would go through and just kind of share with you some fun stuff, some old memories. So t-shirts, lots and lots of old t-shirts. Um, yeah, literally boxes full of them. This may have to be more than one video. But anyways, let's get started with the ones that are already kind of out here. This here, La Jolla Half Marathon 2005. And I do not run marathons or half marathons, never have, never will. But La Jolla Half Marathon, this has always been their biggest fundraiser as far as I can remember. The La Jolla Kiwanis Club, they do a great job. Probably 2005 is probably the last time that I volunteered at one of these. I used to go every year, hang out by the finish line. They always used to have a concert. This year the half marathon was done online via Zoom. It was a virtual half marathon, but they still made a ton of money. So it's always good to help out neighboring Kiwanis clubs. Let's see, this one. This is not technically a Key Club shirt or a Kiwanis shirt, but it says Beijing 2008, and the reason why this is in the Kiwanis collection is because in 2008, when I was a Key Club region advisor, we were going to throw a regional training conference with a Hawaiian theme, and nobody was really into it. It's kind of played out. Like anytime anybody does a luau or they want to do something fun, they always go back to the Hawaiian theme. So for a couple of months, we were planning this regional training conference for Key Clubbers with a Hawaiian theme that nobody was really into. And then in the summer 2008, we had the Beijing Olympics. That was the one where Michael Phelps really hit the big stage, the American swimmer. And one of our lieutenant governors that year, Jewel from Division 37 North at the time, Jewel just fell madly in love with Michael Phelps, the swimmer. So at kind of the last minute, we decided to change from a Hawaiian theme to an Olympic theme. So I got this shirt at the Olympic Training Center down in Chula Vista, which I don't think is there anymore. And we went with the Olympic theme, and it went super well. We had it at Torrey Pines High School, and the funny thing about that is that the library at Torrey Pines High School, where we held this event, already had the international flags of the world already on display. So we didn't have to do much decorating. It was already there for us. Couldn't have worked out any better. And speaking of Division 37 North, back in the day, this was the Surfers. This is back when they still were the Surfers. I know they've changed mascots a couple of times since then. I would have to look it up and see what year this was. I'm sorry. I know it's 2010, 2011. I would have to look up and see who the lieutenant governor was that year. I think maybe Alyssa Rodriguez, but I would have to look it up. But these were the clubs that were in that division at the time. And then from the same division, Like I said, they've changed mascots. They went from the Surfers, which they were for many years, to they were the Cheetahs for a while, which I liked. I think this was Nicolette's year, Nicolette Ramirez. This is what, does it say the year on here? I don't think it does. I always tell my students not to put the year on the t-shirt so they can sell it the following year in case they don't sell out. So I don't know what year this was. This is probably Nicolette's term in office, but same division, different mascot, and I know they've changed that since then as well. So those are the ones that were kind of out there already. Let's go into, some of these are nicely folded. I'm going to have to refold them when we're done. This was the second Kiwanis Club that I joined, the Kids Kiwanis Club of San Diego. Nothing on the back of the shirt, but, and by the way, none of these shirts are going to fit me, so I'm not going to model any of them. I guarantee you, I've put on too much weight, none of these will fit. Anyways. So I joined that club as a charter member back in 2009-2010. Gary Jander and his wife Donna were the big catalyst for getting that club going. At the time, I was a Key Club regional advisor, and I was really excited to be, sort of a resource for other Kiwanis members at that time. And the club turned into something other than what I was expecting. So my work schedule changed. I couldn't fit in with their meetings anymore. So I ended up, after about 2 years, I got out of that club. But my wife is now in that club, and she was their club president last year. So I'm still on good terms with a lot of their members. Speaking of the Kids Club of San Diego, one of the big reasons why they exist is because of this. This was Key Leader Weekend. This is probably my first Key Leader shirt from back in 2006. Key Leader Weekend is a mountain retreat that we do up in Julian, or we did do in Julian, up every year until this one. There's a little up by the collar. It's a good looking shirt. This was the original Key Leader shirt design. They've gone through a few designs over the years. But again, it's a wonderful conference when we were able to do it. Obviously, with COVID this year, it had to be canceled. But students go up to Julian for the weekend. They have to spend a weekend in the mountains. Most of them don't have cell phone signal or Wi-Fi, so they have to unplug for a while, which is a very good thing. The very first year we did Key Leader in 2006, we really didn't have enough students to go around, so there were only 21 students. By comparison, we usually have 80 or 85 in a normal year. So the adults had to participate as well, and that was a very fun year. I was glad to be there for the first one. That is actually where I met Gary and Donna Jander and a number of other people. Yuki, for example. This is the Eliminate project. This came up in 2010, and it's still going technically. I know they're still collecting money for it, but this is probably something that I picked up at the 2010 International Convention, maybe later, but it was introduced at the 2010 International Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Eliminate project is the Kiwanis effort to eliminate, there we go, to eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus from around the world. Picked up a magnet while I'm at it. So we're still raising money to help UNICEF eliminate this terrible, deadly disease in third world countries. So if you ever hear the phrase eliminate related to Kiwanis, that's what that's referring to. Let's see here. This. Oh. Key Club Region 5, which is Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm pretty sure. I don't think this is my wife's shirt. I think this is mine. My wife, when she was living in Las Vegas, technically that was Region 5. I think it still is. I think I was given this shirt as a gift when I went to one of their training conferences in Victorville or Hesperia or something like that. So that's where I got that. This was a fun one. This is 2011, I believe. Yeah. Icon 2011. This was in Phoenix, Arizona. And you notice that the words Phoenix, Arizona are on fire. The sun, the bright yellow color. There's a reason for that. The B tour. This was our district trip to the. In addition to the convention in Phoenix, we also went to the Grand Canyon and Sedona, which was a wonderful trip, and we had a lot of students there from San Diego. Um, it was also in July in Arizona, and I remember the thermometer on our way out there hit 126. So it was warm. I think by the time we got to the convention center in Phoenix, it had cooled down to 110. But we spent a whole lot of time in the swimming pools on that trip. I love international conventions if they're close enough for me to drive. And so that year we decided to drive out to Phoenix. I had 3 students with me. We had 3 more that went in another car. It was a wonderful trip, wonderful bonding experience. I enjoyed that trip very much. International conventions are always a whole lot of fun, and that one in particular was very memorable. This one was also very memorable. This is from our RTC, which was not my final RTC as a Key Club advisor, but it was getting there. It was getting toward the end. Um, this, as a regional advisor, you would have to do regional training conference every year for the students, and I wanted mine to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. I was trying to build it up to the point where we'd have 1,000 students every year, and we never quite got that far while I was in charge. I think that we still could someday, but that's beyond the point. We'd never done t-shirts before. We always would have 300, 400, 500 kids at each event, but we'd never done t-shirts. This came to us from Stacy Murata, who was a wonderful Kiwanian at the time in the San Marcos Club. She has since moved up to Simi Valley or something like that, up in um, somewhere around like Ventura, Camarillo, something like that. So I'm not sure exactly where she is now, but she's up that way. Anyways, she and her husband did t-shirt printing for a family business, and I believe they came up with this logo. Of course, we did the dinosaur theme. That was the year that I dressed up like John, what's his name, from the curator of Jurassic Park, the guy with the beard. So I had to dye my beard white. Actually, that was, I think, the first time that I grew out a full beard, just for the purposes of dyeing it white for Jurassic Park. But I had the cane, I had the hat, and I came out. And the shirts were a big hit. I did end up with a lot of them left over, but um, and there you see all the different divisions, all the different schools. So very good shirt, very good conference that year. One of the surprising things about that conference, this is one that we did down at Cuyamaca College in El Cajon. First of all, I was surprised by the attendance because I thought that was too far away for most of these students to travel, but they actually did travel, and we got a good turnout that year. But the most surprising thing to me was the fact that we were supposed to have a paleontologist from San Diego State University, and we were going to have that person as a guest speaker or a keynote speaker. And for whatever reason, it fell through the cracks. We were not able to get a paleontologist. So the best that we could do on short notice was a Discovery Channel documentary. I had a 45-minute documentary that I downloaded on the last days of the dinosaurs and how they might have gone extinct as a result of the Chicxulub Yucatan meteorite. And to my surprise, I thought, oh, well, there's no way that the students are going to sit through this Discovery Channel documentary. To my surprise, they did, and they were enthralled. They loved the thing. So it was surprising to me that they actually, not all of them were there. They had their choice of different workshops to go through, but we had a good number of kids, probably 80 to 100, that sat and watched this documentary on how the dinosaurs died. And I was very surprised and impressed that they would actually sit through that. So, all right, what else do we have? Okay, now we're getting some older stuff. This is from my days in Circle K. All of this other stuff up until now had been from about 2006 to 2011. This is getting old. This is 1999 Fall Training Conference when I was in Circle K. At the Old Oak Ranch in Sonora, California. Now, they still have the fall training conference every year in Sonora, California at the Old Oak Ranch. That has become sort of a tradition. I think every year for the last 20 years it's been held at that same ranch, at that same location. When I first joined Circle K, they would move the conventions around. They would have conventions in Northern California, Southern California, whatever. Same thing with the Fall Training Conference. Some years it would be in Southern California. Some years it would be in Big Bear. And then about 20 years ago, they decided that they were going to just fix those events where they were. So the Fall Training Conference ever since has been in Northern California, and the Key Club convention, or sorry, the Circle K conventions ever since, just about always, I think, have been in Southern California. So I don't know. If I was in Circle K today, I think I would get bored with that. I would want to mix it up a little bit, but those aren't my decisions to make. So, but that was a fun conference. That was the year that I was on the district board as the district bulletin editor, which at the time was one of the 4 executive positions. So I was like one of the top 4 Circle K in terms of position in the whole district, for just because I did the newsletter, and that always seemed odd to me. So a few years after I had that job, they eliminated that as an executive position and made it a chair position instead. I don't even know if they do a printed, like, published newsletter. I know they do an e-newsletter now, but I always felt like a bit of an imposter being up there with the governor and the secretary and the treasurer and the people who are doing the real work, and here I am over here just doing the newsletter. So anyways, so that has corrected itself over the years. What do we have here? Another surfer shirt. Division 37 North again, which I think is now Division 37 West, because they realigned a few years ago. And I think they're not the Surfers, they're not the Cheetahs. I think they're the Spirits, the Ghosts, or something like that. So I haven't been paying attention in recent years. But yeah, this is a good basic shirt. This, I think, is an older one. I don't exactly remember who was in charge this year, but just based on some of the clubs that are showing up here, yeah, this would have been older, because there's a few clubs, like I think Del Lago, I think, is one of the clubs up there. There's some schools that hadn't quite opened yet that would normally be in that division. And then last one for this box, we have a Division 28 long sleeve shirt from Legacy High School. Now, this is where my wife teaches. This probably was her shirt. I don't think this is one of mine. Yeah, full disclosure, I don't think this is mine. But yeah, Legacy High School, Division 28 North, in the city of North Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas, but North Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't generally wear long sleeve shirts, so this would not have been mine in the first place. So that one is all Valerie. Now I have a much larger laundry bin with way more shirts than that. So let me stop here. We'll do part 2 of a video later on, because I know I'm already 20 minutes in. We'll do part 2 of a video later on where I'll get to the rest of these shirts. A lot of good memories here, but there's still a whole lot to go through. So if you enjoyed that, stay tuned. We'll have another one. Bye-bye.